So we're going to talk about shoulder stretching today, or lat stretching. Why is that important, Dr. Rachel?
So the lack of lat flexibility in a lot of people is a big issue with shoulder and neck pain. It becomes a very important component of that. Who has shoulder and neck pain? A ton of people, everyone most likely will experience it at some point in their life because of just how our everyday lives are. We are hunched over at our desks all day, we're looking down at electronics, everything, just because of what we're doing all day. Our environment facilitates neck and shoulder pain because of this rounded, flexed posture that we all end up with. So what we're going to show you is the lat stretch, and we're going to show you it in an overhead position. Why the lat stretch is so important. A lot of people focus on the chest musculature and extending that to really help us get our shoulders back and stuff, and we ignore the lat because it's actually, it spans a lot of our low back and our mid back. What a lot of people don't realize is that the lat actually attaches up inside of our arm, so it is a pretty important internal rotator. So when we're sitting like this all day, that muscle is actually shortening. So when we try to get into this position, if we do not work on the lat, we will never achieve that good overhead position or just good posture position.
So Dr. Rachel is going to show us how to do the lat stretch. Again, she talked about how that slumped posture that we get in when we drive and when we're at our computers really gets into filtering a bad mechanic for the shoulder and a bad mechanic for the neck. So it's very difficult for us to not run into those types of issues. So she's going to show the lat stretch right now.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get something to where that will actually hold your body weight, because when you stretch this, you want to rely on whatever you're holding on to be able to hold you up to get a good stretch. So
a little bit of distraction there.
Yes, in your shoulder. So where I'm going to feel this stretch eventually is right here. The first thing I have patients do is hold on with both hands and just kind of let the bar hold your body up to just get that shoulder distraction feeling. So then, whatever side you're going to stretch first, so I'll stretch the side that you guys can see. I'm going to put that hand in the middle of the bar.
Before you go there, look at Dr. Rachel's back. A lot of times in the gym or in places, we'll see people stretch their lats and they'll be rounded, low hip, really yanking on things here, but not in a very loaded setup position. She's not doing that. She's really trying to get a loaded spine or something that's neutral so that she can isolate stretch there. And doing this with two arms initially is more for that awareness of, how do I get into good position and then advance it.
Perfect, thank you. So I'm going to put the arm and I'm going to stretch first. And then with the opposite side foot, I'm going to first balance. Make sure I'm not going to fall over when I do this stretch. Then I'm going to take this leg, the closest one to you, so the same side that I'm stretching, cross it over the back, and then I'm going to let my body weight fall right into where my shoulder joint is to get that good stretch right in here. And this is exactly where I should be feeling it.
Good, and you can see in the picture there, she's getting into a nice overhead dynamic here from where her hips meet to her shoulder to her hand. So she doesn't have to be doing this straight up. She bends back and she's in a good position there. Now go ahead and stand up, Dr. Rachel. Some of you junkies might say, hey, that's not right because I've seen that I have to get external rotation. You're 100% right. You can also do this, with a band for even further distraction. But we're trying to make this pretty easy for anybody to do as well as anybody to advance. So the only thing that we're going to change here, instead of doing that overhand grip, is we're going to switch to go underhand to create that external rotation through the shoulder. Dr. Rachel, give it away.
So instead, you're just going to flip your hand here, do the exact same stretch, but now I have that external rotation of my arm and I actually get in that good overhead position and I feel it kind of wind up.
Winds up a little tighter, huh?
Yes.
Yes. So again, this is just something that when you start, if you start here, sometimes it's very difficult to get into that position because you're so restricted. This type of a progression will allow you to make incremental gains early and then be able to progress to the next, be able to progress to a band and other types of things that unwind that flexion, internal rotation, and create that good extension, external rotation. Hope it helps.